introducing myself. I'm Bettina Ambach, the director of the Wayamo Foundation, and I want to start with thanking the Aga Khan University, Professor George Nyabuga. I was representing the dean, and just for you, the background, Wayamo Foundation, we have a strong media history. In fact, I'm a former journalist, and one of my first documentaries was on His Highness, the Aga Khan, when he opened some of the schools here in Kenya, and I was very lucky and privileged to interview him, the late Highness, unfortunately. And as you know, in Germany right now, I'm still in contact with your colleagues because they're going to open an office in Berlin, where I live. So there are many connections till today. So I'm very happy to be back here in this beautiful university with your support. And this is the third symposium we are organizing together with you. As you said, I also want to thank the Dutch and German Foreign Ministry for supporting this event and the Sudan project. We are now engaged in the third year, and it will still go on for another 2 years and hopefully even longer. I also would like to thank the experts who came, and I just want to mention, the cities. They arrived from New York, Amsterdam, the Caribbean, Vancouver, Washington, Johannesburg, Arusha, Kampala, Nairobi for sure. We have many representatives, and special welcome to our Sudanese participants. So, one of our experts asked me at the beginning, he said, oh yeah, they're very good experts, but have you invited Sudanese? Because that's about Sudan. And yes, we have 16 or 17 Sudanese members who are part of the network of lawyers and human rights defenders Wayamo has been training over the last 2 years. We have Sudanese media, which also we have been engaging with in the last 2 years. So I think it is nice to see so many faces. And we have simultaneous translation, which then also should remind us we shouldn't speak too fast. Special welcome, Mohammed Chande Othman. We know for many years now, apart all the official titles he has as the chair of the FFM and the former Chief Justice, he's also a member of the Africa Group for Justice and Accountability, a group of African human rights icons, and we will later see Betty Murungi, who is also a member of that group. So thank you so much for accepting the invitation. So the symposium really, and the program of the symposium, you all have it in front of you, is very much mirrored on our Sudan project. So while the title, you saw it's about Africa, accountability mechanism in Africa, we want to explore what are the mechanisms, justice mechanisms in existence here at our disposal to address international crimes. As I explained, this is part of our Sudan project, and I just want to explain to you the 3 pillars of our project, which then kind of are mirrored in the program of today. So the first pillar of our Sudan project is that the project seeks to enhance the capacity of Sudanese legal and civil society actors to document, transmit, and store evidence concerning international crimes committed in Sudan. So in the last 2 years, we have been organizing many trainings. We have been inviting experts to deal with open source evidence and using open source investigations to enrich your investigations. And the goal of the work we're doing is really looking for legal accountability. So while we acknowledge the importance of advocacy, of the documentation work, Wayamo is concentrating on the legal accountability goal. The partners in this phase of the project are very important. And I'm so happy that we have the majority of our partners with us. It is Legal Action Worldwide. Nick is here representing Legal Action Worldwide, strategic litigation firm. We have Pubudu from the Office of the Prosecutor of the International Criminal Court, with whom also we have been working all over the project. Very appreciated that you always are ready to join us. We have our technical experts, C4ADS, where are they? There they are. So these are the experts on the technical side of the documentation. And for the training, which will start next week, we also have the Clooney Foundation for Justice, who also have a strong strategic litigation part. Also important is that we always look at the sexual violence crimes committed in a conflict as an integral part of our training. And we are very happy to have Joke with us, expert on the investigation and prosecution of sexual violence crimes in conflict. And she also has been with us for many sessions. So that's like the first part of it, the first pillar. The second pillar then comes is the case building. And the case building, as I said, are done with our strategic litigation experts, which are the partners of the project. And the third pillar is then engaging with regional civil society actors and regional prosecution authorities and judiciary and judges. Now, yesterday we had a first meeting with members of civil society from South Africa, Uganda, Kenya, and Sudan. We were very happy about that first engagement, bringing together these 4 countries and thinking about how can civil society actors, when it comes to addressing serious crimes committed in the region, how can we work together? What kind of coalition can we build to be stronger? When we have a case, maybe can civil society from another country help to build a case in another country? So that coalition building, networking is a very important part of our project. At the same time, it's important to engage with prosecution authorities, which we have been doing over the last 2 years. Engaging with prosecution authorities, again, Kenya, Uganda, South Africa is going to happen in the next 2 months, and Mauritius. Build again in the prosecution authorities the will, the openness to potentially one day take up cases. And behind all this is the idea that we believe strongly in domestic justice for international crimes. And I think this goes nicely together with the new complementarity policy Pubudu will talk about, is like the importance of strengthening domestic capacity to deal with international crimes. And this is why, in fact, we have one panel about it and why Pubudu will stress that point. Now, when we talk about the domestic systems, what kind of legal regime can be used to address international crimes? One of them is universal jurisdiction, and we will hear about that in our last panel, the possibilities of using universal jurisdiction to address international crimes, apart from the other accountability mechanisms which we have, like the FFMs, from the UN, African Union, investigative mechanisms, all what we will be hearing in the first panel. So that coalition we are trying to build is a very important thought. We can only be strong and address these issues when we work together. And when we are creative. If sometimes international trials are not around the corner, or the ICC must admit we can only address one part of the problems, we need to be creative. And that call for creativity is our last panel, where we will look into other ways of how to disrupt criminality. It may not be the trial tomorrow, but there are legal ways to disrupt criminality which will make it more difficult for perpetrators of international crimes to do their bad work. I don't want to not acknowledge that I'm explaining here a project. It sounds yeah, as if I'm explaining a normal project, but it's about Sudan, and it's about an ongoing conflict where people die, and I just want to tell you how difficult this is sometimes. You know, yesterday when I was thinking about my introductory words explaining a project, as if it's just a project. No, I know it's real. I know it concerns your life, your family lives, and I just want to finish with that statement that I understand this is not just a discussion about a legal issue. And with these words, I want to wish us a very interesting, creative, respectful discussion.